Thank you for joining me for the Vampire Talk Show. I'm your host, Valaine. My roommate discovered my coffin under the concrete floor of the basement in her new house and woke me up from a 100-year nap. Now, I'm reconnecting with old friends, making new ones, and of course, making a podcast. My roommate, Allie, who is also the producer for this podcast, introduced me to, podcasts. It is utterly fascinating being able to pick and choose what you can listen to on the radio. And whenever you can. Back in my day, you either heard it or you didn't. Being a vampire is difficult enough as it is. Add insult to injury that you couldn't get quality programming in the middle of the goddamn night. Oh, and that's another thing about podcasts that is so shocking, but exhilarating. You can curse on a podcast. I can say goddamn and shit and, dare I say it, fuck. Yes, podcasts are a wonderful thing, but the problem is there's way too many podcasts. There are probably more hours of podcasts available to everyone than there are hours of my life, and I am pretty damn old. One doesn't know where to start, and if you collect too many, all you'll be doing is listening to podcasts and no music, which is a damn shame. A fucking shame. An ass-shitting shame. Excuse me, I just can't help myself. Anyway, Allie showed me some podcasts on her phone. Amazing what technology has done in the past 100 years. She wanted me to get the idea of what podcasts are. Apparently, podcasts are a great platform for privileged white men for the most part. What happened? Did women's lib win and these poor men need an outlet? Women had only started voting in 1920, several years before my big nap. That seemed outrageous at the time, so I can only imagine the amount of progress we've made. We must be the overlords of the once dominant males of the globe, yes? No? Allie is shaking her head. Maybe it's time to move on to our next segment. Up next on the Vampire Talk Show, I have a very, very special guest. She is a badass space witch who is in the process of writing her own cosmic story in a bit of a retro light and through music. She's my bestie from another celestial plane. She is the one and only Lilyandromeda.
Val, what an intro.
I thought you'd enjoy it, darling.
Oh,
How have you been? I've been gone for 100 years, but it's been, what, like 20 minutes for you? You time-tripping darling?
Oh, I know. I've been so busy, I don't even know where to start. As you know, my name used to be Elegy, but I have recently rebirthed myself as Lily Andromeda, and I'm honestly having the time of my life.
Oh, tripping the light electric in the cosmic realms, I can only imagine. So, Lily, I hear that you're starting work on your first solo album.
I am. I'm actually very excited to share with everyone my history. I've been gone for a hot minute because I obviously was traveling through time and space, so probably missed me over the past, I don't know, depends on when I popped in and out. But I wanted to let people know about my home planet of Mundiatomia and what happened there and how I changed my name from Elegy and found myself as Lily Andromeda.
So your home planet, is it, I believe, was it in like sector like 72 or something like that?
It was actually good memory, Val. The planet itself actually doesn't rotate on its axis. It orbits a sun larger than Earth. Where did you say that you were from Earth, Val? I can't remember.
Oh, unfortunately, yes, I am tethered to this terrestrial plane
I'm so
in
sorry.
this life. Oh, no, darling. I love tripping this globe. It is fantastic. I can't tell you how much I've seen and people I've eaten and, that sort of thing. So,
Hey, live your life.
but maybe someday I'll get out there to Sector 72. It sounds lovely.
Well, it's a little bit rough. Like I said, it doesn't actually rotate on its axis. So one of the sides of the planet is always an extreme cold, and the other side of the planet is always an extreme heat. And there's this strip basically down the middle where we actually do all of the arcane magics to keep the vegetation on both sides alive. So
Wow.
it
Wow.
was definitely a harrowing experience, and I learned a lot about myself. And my album is basically going to be telling the story of my home planet, my coven there, and how I found myself.
Oh, that sounds lovely. Wow, you simply are a Jill of all trades. You're a time traveler, you're a witch, you're a cosmic traveler, and a farmer. I love
Oh,
it.
I know.
I absolutely love
I was just
the fact.
propagating some plants downstairs before we started to chat today.
Oh my goodness, that sounds fantastic. Yes, I don't have a green thumb really. I tend to just forget to, water things for a couple of years and then they just kind of die,
Well, you take
Time
such
is
long naps, Val.
I know, I know. I don't know why. It's just,
You should just
you know.
hire someone to take care of them.
I wonder if my producer Allie will actually be up to the
I
task.
bet she would.
Yeah, I think she has some plants around here, I think. So, Lily, why do you want to tell this story so much? Like, what is the personal sort of spin on this?
Well, it's both for my adoring fans and also for myself. This is a rebirth for me. It's been a such a vast and enlightening experience, and I really just want to share my origin story with the world.
Oh, that sounds fantastic. What were you doing before you were doing music, though? I mean, I know you were farming and, keeping vegetation alive and with your coven and everything, but do you have any other hobbies?
Well, I didn't have a ton of time for hobbies. I'm actually the only person on that planet that can commune with the spirits on the planet, which is how we sort of communicated with the extreme cold and the extreme heat, because my coven actually has two different sects where there's a dawn side and a dusk side, and witches would specialize in those specific magics, whereas I would commune with the dead in order to encourage communication between both sides and help to stabilize the planet. It was a lot.
That sounds like yeah, I was going to say, that sounds like a lot of
It was a
work.
lot.
My God.
Well, I take out a lot. And thankfully, there's someone filling in for me now because, we must follow our dreams, can't just work at the grindstone for all of eternity. Got to have some
Yeah.
time for ourselves.
Absolutely, absolutely. Chatting with the spirits of your planet and everything. Do you make friends with these ghosts on your planet?
I do. I find them to be very insightful and peaceful, and they just want to help to maintain the environment there.
Mm.
And a lot of them actually used to be sort of monstrous entities on the side of the extreme heat. So it
Oh.
helps a little bit that now they've sort of calmed, and it's all going to be in the album, but there was quite a shakeup that happened on that planet. So but now everything
Oh.
is much nicer.
Yes, I should say. And it seems like you're having a bit of a break because, you can write
Yes.
music about this now. So, how have you been like enjoying your time besides the music? Like, do you have any, oh, I don't know, any ways you like to self-care or relax?
Mm. I mean, no one will say no to a massage every now and then. Um,
Absolutely.
but I do like to meditate. But most of my time goes into my music. Perhaps now that I have more free time, I can get into some hobbies, maybe some costuming or something crazy.
Oh,
Shake it up.
absolutely. If you ever want to come over and have a
Oh, yes.
stitch and bitch, I
Oh,
think is
I
what they call it.
love that.
Yeah, yes. No, we can definitely do a stitch and bitch. Um, and as far as like those spirits on your planet being hot monster ghosts, are they peaceful creatures or are they ferocious? Are they animals? Are they intelligent?
They used to be a lot more of a problem than they are now. Um, Recent events have left them more at peace. They were a bit chaotic for a while, and we didn't really know what to do about the problem until a sort of chain of events happened and made it a little bit easier to deal with and give them the peace that they were so desperately looking for.
Fantastic. Well, you adorable little savior. Um, is there any romance going on in your life? I am a former gossip columnist. It is my bread and butter.
Well, I always have my faithful companion Devin Hoy with me. He is an integral part of making this album happen and is always so supportive of me. So yeah, that's
That's a
my wholesome heart is always
so
there for him.
is Devin a ghost of some kind? Is he a creature from your planet, or is he a human?
He actually crash landed on the planet and was sort of what caused this chain of events to happen uh, that then caused me to, realize what I was missing in my life and realize what I was and what I could do. So, really, he was the spark that ignited this whole chain of events. So,
Oh my
I
goodness,
know. Talk about
that
a
sounds.
spark.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, I'm glad you found your own personal spaceman, that's for
Oh,
sure.
thank you. We could all use our own personal space, man.
Oh, tell me about it. I wish. Um, I have been able to find a date since 1922, I believe. Um, it was a terrible time,
It's all
I gotta
right.
say.
Now you got your
Yeah.
beauty rest. You can get back out there if you
Uh,
want. Or we can just drink wine or blood and carry on. I'll drink the
oh, are you?
wine, you drink the blood.
I was about to say, I was like, oh my dear, Lily, did you switch diets recently?
No.
Um, oh, sounds fantastic. What podcasts do you listen? Do you listen to podcasts, Lily Andromeda?
I don't really know what to do with that. Do I listen to podcasts? Mm.
I mean, do they have podcasts on your planet?
Oh no, they definitely didn't have podcasts there. We
Oh.
we didn't really have technology. It was more so just a strenuous magical exercise trying to keep the planet from breaking apart into a million pieces and scattering our remains across the galaxy.
Mm.
So, no podcasts. No time for podcasts. And maybe now that I have time, I'll start listening to some podcasts. I hear there are some amazing arcane podcasts out there. So
Absolutely. Um, So you're kind of in the same boat as me then. Like,
Just discovering these for the first
the
time.
brand new technologies
Yes.
and cultural things. Apparently one of the things lately is asking men if they think about the Roman Empire.
Oh, that's a thing now?
Yes, apparently. Yes, my producer Allie was telling me about it. She was showing me some videos of women asking their husbands, how often do you think about the Roman Empire? And the husbands tend to say, oh, about once a day. Once a day they think about the Roman Empire. I think that's fascinating.
That's
It's like,
so many more times a day than I ever think about the Roman Empire.
that's what I'm saying.
What's
And
funny is I was just watching, what was it? This amazing program, Doctor Who, where literally I just got to a part where there was a centurion and he was in the Roman Empire because he had traveled through time. And I was like, oh, I'm so glad that other people are traveling through time. It is such a fantastic experience.
yes. Now, I wish I could travel through time. I suppose I do, though, but just very slowly. And in one direction.
Fair enough. Well, if you ever want to go for a ride, we could make it happen.
Oh, yes. I want to see what's so fascinating about the Roman Empire.
Don't we all?
What's your favorite or most shocking piece of technology that you've encountered on Earth here?
Dildos. Amazing.
Oh.
Amazing. I had no idea. Oh, and I hope your podcast has an explicit rating.
Absolutely. Did you not hear me cursing my head off in the beginning?
There, I did.
Monologue?
I did.
Yes. So dildos. Fantastic. Yes. Interesting. Speaking from personal experience, I take it?
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, fantastic. Good to know that we're so sexually liberated here.
It's like magic.
Yes.
But without magicians. How is this? Don't understand. What are witches even for anymore?
I know. Oh my gosh. By the way, how do you cast? Do you have like a wand or like...
No, actually, my magic comes from within, so...
That's apparently what a lot of people say in workplaces and
on Christmas specials on the... What channel is the Hall of Mark or some such nonsense?
I'm so glad you bring that up because it is, the holiday season is upon us and it is bigger and crazier
More
than
obnoxious
ever.
than ever.
And I thought it was bad when, back in the day. And now Christmas has become just a huge undertaking, an extravaganza, if you will. And one of the things that I think, like, you know how there's so many podcasts in the world?
Oh, yes.
There are so many romantic Christmas movies in the world. It's like, Christmas isn't enough. They need to add romance to it. And it's like, Christmas is for children. It's always been for children.
Unless you're a small town man from a place in the Midwest and you're stuck on this girl that you used to date in high school and she's
you're trying to save
big
the
city
Christmas tree
woman and she's coming home and she hates her job and decides to stay with Joe Nobody and cut down trees together for the rest of their lives.
Absolutely. I do love a good Christmas film, and especially when I partake in drug tainted blood, to be specific. Yes. The reefer. Apparently, it's okay now. Back in my day, if you had any sort of reefer on you, Well, it was a death sentence.
Yes, I actually had some man on the street give me a gummy, but it
Oh,
was amazing. Talk about a trip.
oh no. Lily Andromeda, don't you know you should never take candy from strangers?
Fair enough, fair enough.
Now, we'll move on to our next segment. Let's see what's in the headlines. In the headline segment, but it's not rehashed and beaten to death human headlines. It's cryptid and paranormal headlines and gossip. So it's news to you, human. So, apparently, there has been another sighting of the Flatwoods monster recently. She was caught in the seventh dimension salon getting her nails done. The technician accidentally cut her nails too short, and poor Miss Monster's hands suddenly looked more human than cryptid. According to eyewitnesses, the Flatwoods monster started hissing at the technician, and it slowly turned into a shrill scream. Then, when manager slithered into Flatty's view and offered a free eyebrow wax, the monster was calmed. Whew, what a temper on her. Once I accidentally stepped on her metallic skirt at a fellow goblin pal's birthday party, and she wouldn't let it go for the whole night, hissing and hiding behind her cowl. Of course, I apologized, but it wasn't enough for her. I wonder if she listens to this podcast. Well, my dear friend, is there anything else you would like to tell the world?
I'm very excited for everyone to hear my story, and I hope they enjoy what I have to say.
Fantastic. I cannot wait to hear the album. I've already heard a couple of your covers, like Hunter's Moon.
Oh, yes, if you want to see me kicking some historical Halloween villains' asses, you can find that on YouTube.
I'll make sure, well, Allie will make sure to put the links in the show notes to all of Lily Andromeda's stuff. Lily, thank you so much for being on the show. And remember, embrace the dark, the strange, and unusual. It just may embrace you back. This has been an Opus Nox Media production. Learn more at opusnoxmedia.com.